Hi, this is Scott with the Android Guys app review podcast. I'm sitting here with Luke.
Hey, everybody.
Luke,
Yeah?
Pokemon Go.
Oh, I remember that one.
Does it still hold up in 2021?
Ooh, let's find out.
I think it does.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yes.
Yes, this is one of those games, and what we do for the Hold Up series is we discuss titles that have been around a long time or were very big for a moment in mobile space or Android space. Pokemon Go is 5 years and counting old.
Wow.
Believe it or not. And it is one of the most popular titles ever for mobile devices, and really, I mean, it's a money-making machine.
Oh, for sure.
So I installed this game on not technically day one, but my son did.
Yeah.
He was of the age to check it out. And it is a game that has evolved a lot.
It really
since
has.
it first came out. And I remember he left town for a couple days, so my wife and I decided we were going to get into the game and we were going to be further ahead than him when he got back in town.
Sure.
And we were.
Yeah.
And I stayed ahead of him ever since.
Yeah.
So as a game, it has it's changed so many different ways and added so many different features over the years. But I think that's what makes it hold up.
Sure.
Because, not only do you have new generations of Pokemon and characters, but there's so many other ways to play the game.
Yeah.
If you like to do, raids and battle big bosses, or if you want to just complete and fill your Pokédex, if you like to trade, or if you want to hunt for shiny ones, or, there's so many, you can do, PvP battles against friends and, remote strangers. So I think it's because of that I would say that it holds up.
Sure.
Were it to be similar to what it was at launch and just continue to add new Pokemon to it, I don't think I would even be half interested in, returning to it over and over. Is this a title that you tried when it first came out?
Yeah. I remember when it first came out, there were still, and so I've walked away from it a little bit over the years, and my kids still play it, and I've just gotten back into it in the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months from them again. But I remember when you could only get certain Pokemon in certain areas.
Yeah.
And I think it's still that way somewhat, right?
Yeah, there are some that are regional.
They've made it a lot easier.
And hemisphere, well, with trades and things.
With trades, sure.
To complete.
But I remember I was going on a trip over to California for a podcast event for a podcast I used to do, and we were walking around, and I was so excited to pull up Pokemon Go and see what there was there versus here. We were walking around. I remember walking around La Brea Tar Pits and going, oh, yeah. And then, I mean, this was the time when you would see groups of like 5 or 6 other people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It was still the time when they were just at parks and big, kind of touristy spots.
Yeah.
There were groups of people just walking around catching Pokemon. And I think that's what got me into it the most, was just, this is really cool that a mobile game is bringing people out of their house and bringing people together, and not even that you really had to interact with people or had to be like, it wasn't even the, hey, what'd you catch? Like, show me your phone. Or, like, it was none of that, but it was just the,
I know what you're doing.
I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. Good luck.
Yeah. Did you see this one over there?
Right.
I ran into this.
Yeah. Hey, there's a Clefairy over there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this is a thing, but I found my first Pikachu here.
Right.
So you might want to go check near those types of things.
Right.
It was a whole world of kind of like discovery and sharing and interacting. And I love the mechanics that, it took me a while playing to realize, it truly does benefit you to go. To get out and move around and certain things. But I think that Niantic has done a great job of adding features along the way that are, very helpful and breathe new life into the game.
Yeah.
Like the ability to have buddies,
right,
and certain Pokemon to earn more candy and how to do that, and raids and bosses and community day. There are, prior to the pandemic, we know in a local park you go to, and there will be literally hundreds and hundreds of people still doing it.
Right.
If the weather's nice.
Right.
So it still does that. It still gets people out there, even through the pandemic, and some of the features that they've added so that you can do things remotely, or that you don't have to leave your house to get, some of the small things. But this was an easy one. As we look through the list of some of the titles that we're looking at, do they hold up? I feel like most of what we're going to encounter, do hold up if you just remember that it exists.
Right.
But this is one that holds up and is very obvious that it still exists because it's a very active game. It's a very, always changing and ongoing, and there's always something. I mean, even as we record today, an event just started at 10 a.m., and it's going to run for a week, and there's ways to get specific Pokemon this week. So it's, for me, an easy yes. Luke, does Pokemon Go hold up for you?
Absolutely.
All right. That's going to do it for this one. I'll talk to you guys soon.
See you later.